Are you a senior concerned with maybe how much debt you're in or how low your credit score has become because of that? I'm here to tell you today that you may not really have to worry about that as much as you may be worrying about it. And I'm going to show you some ways that you can actually come out of that debt with a really good strategy and tactic for handling your credit card debt and any other debt that you may be having that's lowering your credit score. There are two things mainly that contribute to seniors who are in debt right now. Number one is medical bills. The cost of living has drastically increased, and that includes medical expenses as well. In fact, the average person spends $38,000 in out-of-pocket expenses in the last 5 years of their life. There are actually more than 84% of seniors who have at least one chronic condition that adds significant expenses to their life. Don't worry, your medical bills will not pass on to your loved ones when you pass. You don't have to worry about that debt going to anyone else. If you have medical debt, you're not the only one, and I'm going to go into some ways in just a little bit of how you can lower that. The other contributing factor to rising debt for seniors are credit cards. In fact, more than 30% of seniors now utilize credit cards frequently. And that number is up from 20% in the early 2000s. So there's been a drastic increase in the number of seniors who are currently utilizing credit cards. And if more people are utilizing credit cards, well, that means that more people are in debt. And if you have a high credit card balance, it means your credit score is going to be lower. One of the easiest ways to increase your credit score is to pay down that debt. The two biggest factors contributing to a credit score are number one, on-time payments. So make sure you at least make that minimum monthly payment. And the second thing, like what percent of that credit card balance are you utilizing? So if you have a $500 credit card balance, if you're using more than 20% of that balance, that's going to hit your credit score harder than if you're using less than 20% of that balance. So you want to try to have as lower of a percent as possible to use that. Now, I understand. Things happen in our day-to-day lives that we can't control. Sometimes you may have a repair that you have to fix at home. Maybe your car needs to get fixed. Maybe something happens and you have to spend some extra money on food, or you want to get one of your kids or grandkids or your significant other a special gift that you've always wanted to get them and give to them. And in the spirit of giving, it's always a good thing to do that and be nice to people. But you have to make sure that you are not putting yourself in too tough of a situation. If you do have medical debt or credit card debt, I want you to rest assured that you will not have to worry about this money being garnished from your Social Security or from your pension. It will not be taken from you. Creditors cannot touch your retirement income. So I wouldn't really worry about that. In fact, the only time your credit really matters is if you're going to buy a new home. Now, if you're going to buy a new home anyway as a senior, there's a chance that your income may be lower than it would actually need to be to qualify for a home anyway, even if you did have a really good credit score. So I wouldn't even really worry about that unless you're looking to buy a completely new home. And if you're in that situation, maybe you probably wouldn't have the credit card that you're in. Now, as a senior, if you are low income and low credit, you may be able to qualify for exceptions for Section 8 housing. So you want to check with your city to see if there's any way that they can expedite that for you for some emergency housing conditions because you are a senior. They do make exceptions for that, and they have situations where they will put a senior higher up on the list because, look, you're retired. You're not in the workforce. You don't have that capability anymore to go out there and just work all day to be able to provide that for yourself. So a lot of towns and a lot of cities and municipalities work on these programs with Section 8 so that they can give seniors preference over people who are younger that they feel are maybe more capable to be able to handle these types of things on their own. Many states also offer assistance to landlords who will take seniors in who have low credit scores. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, which you can find on hud.gov/states. I'm going to put the link in the description of the video here. You can go there and you can try to find if there are places that do offer some sort of rental assistance for seniors who may have low income or low credit scores. Next, I'm going to go into how you can actually lower your debt and pay off those pesky credit cards finally once and for all. So there are two methods to doing this, and they're both very similar. The first one I am going to go over will target your credit cards that have the lowest balances first. So let's assume that you have 3 cards, okay? Card 1, card 2, card 3. Let's assume that card 3 has the lowest balance. So you're going to make the minimum payments on all 3 cards, because remember, on-time payments are the most important thing that affect credit scores. So you're going to pay all minimum payments, and anything you have left over at the end of the month, doesn't matter how small it is, you're going to pay towards card number 3, which has the lowest balance. Now, say you're paying $50, $50, and $50 on each one. Card 3 gets paid off. Now, what you're going to do is apply the $50 you were paying to card 3 plus whatever extra you were spending to card number 2, which is the next lowest balance. So now you're paying $50 on card 1, the minimum. Now you're paying $100 on card 2. And you're going to, once you pay off card 2, now you have 1 card left, and you're going to take that $100 you were paying on card 2 just now, put it to card 1. So now you're paying $150 per month on card 1, and you'll just watch your credit get wiped out. I mean, not your credit, your debt. And there's the same way you can do it, but it's based on interest rates. So let's say card 1, card 2, card 3 again, they all have the similar balances, but card 3 has the highest interest rate. You're going to pay down card 3 first with minimum payments on every card, and then a little extra on card 3. And then once card 3's pay off, you take card 3's payment and you apply it to the card with the next highest balance. In addition to that, card's minimum payment, and then you go the same thing through card 1. So that is 2 different but very similar ways to pay off your credit card debt. Hope you found this video valuable. My name's Justin Von Meigen. You can email me at jve@thejve.com. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications if you found this video valuable. I'm really looking forward to providing y'all a ton of value here. If there's anything else that you'd like to see a video on, please let me know. Send an email, drop it in the comments. I really hope this helps you, and I'd love to help you any way I can.